Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about Sean Hannity. He's dumber than a bag of dirt. The heavy hitters of right-wing talk radio, whether by design or happy accident, each have a particular trait that distinguishes them from their colleagues. Rush Limbaugh is the pompous windbag, Mark Levin is the screeching chimp, Glenn Beck is the delusional would-be Ayn Rand protagonist, and Sean Hannity is the one so stupid it hurts your feelings. I mean, the others I just mentioned aren't exactly noted for their gleaming intellects, but Hannity. This is the man who once tried to exaggerate the attendance of a Michelle Bachmann rally he was reporting on by airing video footage of another, better attended rally. The man who once described Halloween as a liberal holiday because trick-or-treating teaches children to ask for handouts. The man who seemed to think that the botched rollout of healthcare.gov would somehow interfere with ambulances being dispatched to medical emergencies. The man who... Oh, that's it. It's giving me a headache. He ripped off a military charity. Thank you. Hannity used to host this series of concerts that were ostensibly to raise money for a veterans charity, but the concerts were unceremoniously canceled after someone alleged in 2010 that most of the money they generated never actually made it to the veterans and their families. Instead, allegedly, most of the money went to pay for things like private jets for Hannity and his guests and other similarly extravagant expenses. Now, sure, it would have been nice if more of the money had actually gone to benefit the people it was meant to benefit, most of whom needed a bit of extra support because they had been sent to fight in a war that Hannity had tirelessly rallied his audience to support. But Hannity got to go to each one of those concerts, take the stage like a rock star, and rub shoulders with the likes of Charlie Daniels, Ted Nugent, and Lynyrd Skynyrd. So why don't you ask him if he thinks that money was wasted? He's surprisingly bad at his basic job. For a man who has spent virtually his entire professional career as a broadcaster and who has worked in front of a national audience for nearly 20 years, Hannity regularly displays an appalling lack of simple competence. Whether on the radio or television, he's dull, repetitive, agonizingly unfunny, and skull-poundingly inane. I suspect that this is almost entirely due to his aforementioned deep and pathetic stupidity, but I'll tell you what doesn't help. He doesn't have an original thought in his head. So he's an idiot, a swindler of charities, and a star fucker with a preference for headliners of firemen's carnivals. But one thing you'll never hear me accuse Sean Hannity of being is an original thinker. If you're a conservative and you're looking for a visionary, a trailblazer to light the way to the future, look somewhere else. But if you're looking for a guy who will boldly do things he's seen other people do already, like write books with patriotic-sounding titles, suck up to the rich and mock the poor and accuse Barack Obama of being a radical socialist, all in the blandest and least personalized manner possible, then Sean Hannity is someone you can maybe listen to if you happen to still be in the car after Rush Limbaugh's show ends. Which would be appropriate since he owes his career to his time slot. On the radio, he's the guy on after Rush. For most of his TV career, he was the guy on after O'Reilly. And there you have a perfectly sufficient 2-sentence explanation of the success of Sean Hannity. And in his success, you have one of the clearest examples ever of the power of a good lead-in. Sean Hannity has survived and even prospered not because he brings anything unique or compelling or extraordinary to the table, but because enough people don't feel like changing the channel after the show they were really interested in is over. He's the Will and Grace of right-wing media. or at least he would be if, in addition to everything else I've been talking about these last few minutes, he wasn't also ardently homophobic. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.